are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.
What up, man? It's the boy Produk, and now locked into the Life of Produk podcast. What's going on with y'all? Did y'all miss the kid, man? This is episode 127. I've been hiatus for a minute. I gotta stop doing y'all like that. I swear. I keep getting missing and getting low on y'all. But we back, baby. Got a lot of things to talk about. Before I get into the show today, I want to ask everybody, mental health check-in. How are you? How are you feeling? Where are you mentally right now? Where you at emotionally? A lot of y'all contact me directly, and I want y'all to keep doing that. Tap in with the kid. Let me know how you feeling. Let me know what's going on in your life. If there's anything I can do, I'll help you. I got you. Like I love giving people advice on their situations, and I've helped a lot of people. And I don't ask no money for that. I do this because I would want somebody to do the same thing for me. But this is where we at right now, G. It's episode 127. We got some things to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? We got a few things to talk about. I want to address the Olympics. Before we really get into the show today, and I'm going to let y'all know what the subject of today's show is. I want to talk about the Olympics. Not feeling a lot of the things that took place in this year's Olympics. I'm not feeling it. It really disgusted me, honestly. And it disgusted me to the point where I think I'm going to fall back from the Olympics. I don't know if it was overall the Olympics' fault or if it was the fact that it was over in Paris. It was a France thing. I don't know. I'm trying to find the most respectful way to say this, right? I'm not feeling the intro of the Olympics, and I'm actually happy that they took it off of the Olympics. I was never really a big Olympic person because I believe, and it's not the Olympics, right? I understand, and I'm a firm believer that as a black man, they love for us to represent them when it comes to representing games for the country, but they don't show up for us. They really don't. So the intro to the Olympics, what's the best way for me to say this? It's sad that we can't just say what we want to say. I'm going to say what I feel like saying today, but I'm trying to find the most respectful way to say this, right? The intro for the Olympics was a depiction of the Last Supper. That right there is already edgy. Very edgy. You playing with the Bible, you playing with God, you playing with Jesus Christ. Not only was it a depiction of the Last Supper, it was represented by a room full of transsexual women. As we know, transsexual women are not real women, they are men. Right? Here's my thing, right? You want to be a transsexual woman, that's fine. You want to be gay, that's fine. I encourage people, and I've been encouraging people on the show since day one to live their truth. If that's the lifestyle that you want to live and it suits you, do it. I don't care what the lifestyle is. I don't care if it's a straight man coaching a basketball or football team. As long as it doesn't include hurting children, I'm fine with that. Or other people, but I'm fine with that. When you play with God and you play with the Bible and you implement these type of things, to me it feels very anti-Christial, if that's a word. And y'all know where I'm going with that. If that's how it feels. It feels like you're mocking God, and it feels very weird. It feels cringe. It was cringe for me to rewatch it and watch close-ups of a transsexual woman, which is a man, had a pair of small underwear on and his testicles was hanging out. I got a problem with that. And if other people don't want to talk about that, that's cool. I'm going to talk about it. Ain't nothing holding me back from talking about it. No. Do I want to get shadow banned? No. Do I want to, my views to go down? No. But we have to get to a point where we are kicking realness. I think one of the main problems when it comes to things like this is us grown men have become afraid to speak about it because there's so much power on that side. You know what I'm saying? You want to have power, that's great. Everyone needs power in their faction to some degree, but it shouldn't be that much power to where we can't kick realness and people are allowed to go run around and do stuff like that. That's what I got a problem with. And I think I'm going to fall back from the Olympics. The Olympics made me mad not just because of that. I don't like the way that the American team was treated when it came to certain games. When it came to, let's talk about the basketball teams, the men and the women's. So to my knowledge, the women's team, they were 16 years undefeated at the games, between the Summer Games and the Olympics. 16 years undefeated. You can't tell me that there's no animosity from other countries towards that. And a lot of them are black women. If you notice, a lot of these countries that dominated the Olympics, you got some of them that dominated and the players were black. They were born and raised there, but they were black. You understand what I'm saying? So I was on a treadmill at the gym and I was watching when the USA team first played Serbia. I was hot the whole time. I was so mad. I didn't watch no more after that. I watched like I think the first and the second quarters of it. The calls that the refs were calling on the USA team was ridiculous. Now I understand two things, when you box in the Olympics and when you play basketball, the rules are a little different and they're a little more strict. How did Kevin Durant have like 3 fouls in the first quarter? That was ridiculous. He was going off. He was doing his thing. He was getting it in. 3 fouls in the first quarter, to my knowledge. I watched a play where one of the players from Serbia shot a free throw. I mean, a three-pointer, threw his body back into the out of bounds. Steph Curry jumps to try to block it, doesn't touch him, and they call a foul on Steph Curry. Nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. For the simple fact, see, when it comes to games and competitions, whoever wins, that's fine, but do it fairly. I don't like cheating and I don't like unfair play. I don't like foul play. I don't like it and I don't condone it. That right there I had a problem with. I had a problem with a lot of the energy within the men's basketball games I was throwing towards the USA team. I got a problem with even that last game. The last game they played against France. The men's team played against France the last game, and the women's team, I believe, played against France. And there was a lot of foul play in that. There was a lot of trickery there. There was a lot of things, a lot of calls that was designed for the other team to win, for them not to win. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all. I'm not feeling how Sha'Carri Richardson and Shelly Ann was denied entry. I don't know the whole story, but I know they were denied entry at one part where they were already going through that same area prior to that multiple times. And I don't blame Shelly Ann for quitting. I don't blame her, because for me, I gotta put my pride and integrity over a medal. She has medals already. She raced in a Richard Mille. She got money. She got notoriety. We know what Shorty is about. She's living greatness. Sha'Carri is living greatness. You feel what I'm saying? And I respect Sha'Carri for walking an hour, they said, just to get to another side and then racing and still winning a gold medal. These are things that people will do to try to discourage people from playing games, from entering, and try to stop them from losing. You walk for an hour, then you have to race. You're tired. And she still won silver in that. She won a gold medal, I think, prior to that, and then won silver for that. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling how the police over there was harassing Steph Curry's wife and his mother while his wife had the newborn strapped to her chest and they hit the baby in the head. I'm not feeling that. At a certain point, man, we have to realize we're not wanted somewhere. We do. We have to realize we're not wanted somewhere. We know where we're wanted, we know where we're accepted, and we know where we're not wanted and we're not accepted. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I get it. These people are here to do a job. These men and women are there to do a job. And playing in the Olympics is a very high level of greatness. That right there takes your resume to a whole nother level. But dog, I'm just how I am. And I commend every player from here, every black player from here that went there, that felt the harassment, they felt the discrimination, and they still woke up in their hotel room every day and went to go perform at their highest level. I don't think I have it in me. Nah, I would have Shelly ended. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I'm the type of person, I get irritated very fast. Especially when I know people are trying to coerce a situation to where I'm not going to win or my outcome is not going to be as good as theirs, or just because they have a personal bias against me, my skin complexion, me as a man, I'm not feeling it. So between the intro of the Olympics, between the discrimination, the harassment, I think I'm done with the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling it, dog. I also just have an issue with performing for a country that will still allow one of their officers to kill me and go to work the next day or take a suspension or lose his pension part. I have an issue with that. But that's just me. Cheers, the boy Produk, LifeOfProduk podcast. This is episode 127. We will be right back with the second segment of the show. Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Produk. You're now locked into the Life of Produk podcast. If you need advertisement, interviews, or sponsorships, it is lifeofproduk@gmail.com or Korporate.Ent@gmail.com. That is corporate with the K. Let's get your brand out there. Let's get your music out there. Let's get you on the show. I told you, man, I'm helping careers out here, baby. What up? Bang, bang. Episode 127. Episode 127 is titled, The Real Flex is ... The real flex is, I know y'all wondering, your Produk, what's the real flex? What are you talking about? The real flex is being genuine. That's it. The real flex is being genuine. We're lacking that in society right now. It on average, it will cost you no amount of money to be genuine to a person. It won't. It won't. I think we've become so caught up in ourselves, the problems that we've endured, our past experiences. We are losing the concept of being genuine to other people. And it hurts to see it. It hurts to see it because let me tell you something. There have been people that have been genuine to me that have helped me in ways you don't even understand. I've gotten information from people that for free that helped me, that took me to a whole different level. Took me to a whole different level, man. So I try to reciprocate that with the universe, and I try to put that out there and do that for other people. As much as I can, as much as I can. There's been times it has inconvenienced me, and I've still done it. I don't like being inconvenienced. That low key makes me not like people when they constantly inconvenience me. But I still try to go out of my way to help people. When shouts out to my homeboy Ish. My homeboy Ish showed me years ago. This is before YouTube, before you could really Google stuff. He showed me how to set up your ASCAP account. That's my guy right there. I remember when he showed me. This is back when it was free for ASCAP. Now you got to pay like $50 per account. You didn't have to pay for it back then. So he showed me how to set up Bond right away. I set up my writer's account, which a lot of y'all don't understand. I've been seeing this online. They're like, oh, such and such has such and such wrote for them. No, that person wrote the music. If you want to get a music, you need to really do your due diligence and understand that a writer's account covers the lyrics and the composition, which is writing the music. So I set up my writer's account because I was writing and producing, and I also set up my publisher's account. You know what I'm saying? Got my own publishing company. Showing me that right there really took me to a whole different level, man. And for years, with me making music and writing and rapping, I used to always wonder, I'm independent. How am I going to get money if I get radio play? What if my song popping is a hit record? Where's my money at? And that showed me that. Now that was just the beginning steps to that. There was more to it. There was more to it. I remember I had a home office, right? And this is where I talk about being genuine. I had a home office, and I was off, at the time I was off Friday, Saturday. I'm sitting in my home office. It's Friday. My kids is at school. I'm going through paperwork, right? The mailman dropped the mail. I heard it. So I go to the mailbox, which is outside the crib, and I'm looking, I get an ASCAP letter. I'm like, yo, let me see. Because I remember not too long before that, I had radio play a little bit. I had a song on the radio for a whole summer. This is right when streaming started becoming a thing. So I'm seeing my streams go up and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, I open the letter, and when you get that letter from ASCAP and it says, we're sorry you had no performances, blah, 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 there's no checking it. You're looking like, okay. Now, many people are used to that. You know what I'm saying? When you're independent, it's really hard to make streaming money, royalty money, radio money. It's really hard to do it. But I knew for a fact I have radio play off and on over the last course of whatever. So I'm sitting, I go online. I look up the number for ASCAP in Manhattan. I'm like, yo, this is a shot in the dark, but let me call these dudes. Somebody answered the phone that day. I was like, wow, okay, I got somebody on the phone. So I tend to be a little turned up sometimes. Well, I used to be. I kind of calmed down a lot. So I purposely told myself that you're about to make this phone call. If somebody comes to the phone, ease into this conversation. Get straight to it, but be cool. You know what I'm saying? Yo, being, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Being cool has gotten me so far in life. It has. Because people don't like disgruntledness. So the guy answers the phone. I'm like, yo, yeah, this is such and such from Korporate.Ent. And he's like, okay, how can I help you? So I give him my name and I give him the name of my publishing company, right? He pulls it up, he's kidding, okay, I'm looking at it now. I said, look, man, I know I've got radio play on these days, this amount of time. I'm familiar with some of the number of plays I've gotten streaming play. Now, this is before I think ASCAP was really doing online radio. Hidden gem for y'all. Back then, you needed to set up sound exchange. You still need sound exchange now. So, an example, they didn't pay you for Pandora. You needed sound exchange for that. I ain't gonna give you any more gems right now. So the guy goes, yeah, I said, hey, this is the name of my publishing company, boom, boom, boom. He looks everything up. And this man did not have to give me this information. I know for a fact he didn't have to give me this information, but he was being genuine because he was on the phone with the independent artist, not only an independent artist, but an independent record label owner that was being proactive and was being nice and respectful trying to know what's up with his money. So he said, let me ask you this question. What was your Nielsen count? I said, Nielsen? I said, isn't that for like CDs and stuff like SoundScan? He said, not only does Nielsen do SoundScan, they do BDS. He said, what's your BDS count? I said, I don't know. He said, grab a pen and write this information down. And he gave me the information on how to register my songs with BDS, because what happens is ASCAP uses a survey company and they take the count of all of your music that has been embedded and uploaded through the BDS. The old website was Real Time BDS or something. It was like Real Time BDS, something like that. They would take that and they would use that for your count. The website changes another address now. I don't know off the top of my head. It's bookmarked on my laptop. But that was the old way to do it. By this man giving me this information, I slowly started to see here and there a little bit of royalty money. Wasn't a lot, but it just made me appreciate my craft more. And this is what I'm telling y'all. People can be genuine and they can help you. And for him, that was a 3-4 minute conversation. Let's just say 5-minute conversation. It was a 5-minute conversation at most. For me, it was life changing. That 5-minute conversation that I had with this employee who worked for ASCAP in Manhattan changed the course of my career, and it changed my life. And it allowed me to do more research to actually learn more from that. Not only did it allow me to do that, I started offering a service at a certain point where I helped, even though I was only charging like $80. I charged the service back then, and I helped a good amount of people. I was charging a service where I set up your copyright account, and I set up your ASCAP account, and I would set up your BDS SoundScan account, and I would sit down with you and I would show people how to do it. More people took basically that workshop and paid me than didn't, because a lot of people didn't want to. They didn't want to. I was actually off and on over the course of a certain amount of years still doing that. Now, even though there were a lot of people I showed for free. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't charge everybody, but I was charged at a certain point. I'm a firm believer that you gotta pay to play. I paid for information that have taken me to the next level. Professors get paid at schools, and I said this before, if a professor or a charter school teacher can get paid, a private school teacher can get paid, why can't a person get paid for their course that they sell online? Why? You know what I'm saying? So fast forward a few years later towards the streaming era and things like that, I knew a dude that was putting out music, and his music was really decent. And me and him was talking, and I said, yo, why don't you take my workshop, man? I want to show you. I said, you just dropped like a project. I want to show you how to collectively get all your royalty money. So he goes, oh, such and such is my distributor. I get my royalty money from there. I said, no, you're due for more royalty money. I said, this is why you need to, you know what I'm saying? I said, this is what I'm going to charge you. You know what I'm saying? I usually charged $80. I was going to charge him like $60. I said, just pay me the $60. I said, I'm going to sit down with you, show you how to do it. I said, we can either sit together in the same room. I said, or we could jump up on a Zoom call or whatever. I'll send you like screenshots of everything. You can screen share. I'll show you how to do it. He was like, no, I'm good. I said, okay, brother, bet. Here's the problem with a lot of independent artists, right? Some of y'all take your wardrobe more serious than you do your craft. Some of y'all take your wardrobe and your craft more serious than you do the business side. If you're doing that, no one else is going to take you as serious as they should. They're not. It's not going to happen. You might mess around and your song blow and you don't get fully compensated for it because you BS. G is the boy Produk, LifeOfProduk podcast, episode 127. The real flex is being genuine. We will be right back with the third segment of the show. What up, man? It's the boy Produk, and back to the Life of Produk podcast. This is episode 127. The real flex is being genuine. Again, if you need advertisements, sponsorships, interviews, it is lifeofproduk@gmail.com. That is PRODUK, or Korporate.Ent @gmail.com. That is corporate with the K. Let's get your brand out there, man. Talk to the kid, man. Look, bong, if you own a cola company, I'll put the can right here. That's called product placement. And my name is Produk. There you go. I'll be dropping a lot of gems on y'all. A lot of y'all don't be listening to the kid. I don't know what it is, man. But today's episode is 127. The real flex is being genuine. Being genuine for a lot of people is hard because a lot of people have their own personal biases. We all have a personal bias, but a lot of people, they take it further to where they will block the blessings of another person. And I got a problem with that. I knew a dude back in the day that was really cool. I know him personally. He was a really nice person, love God, love his family, but he had a personal bias. And he had a very high position at his company. And me and him sat and talked one day, and he looked me in the face and he said, let me tell you something. If I see paperwork come across my desk and I see a black person name in this ghetto, you ain't working here. And I was like, wow. I was like, but why though? He said, because they're gonna come in here, they're gonna mess it up. It's not too many of us black people here. He was black. He was like, it's not too many of us black people here. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I feel you on one end of the coin, but on the other end of the coin, what if that mother or father that applied to your job really needed it, and by you pin pushing and pushing their paperwork through, you got them out of poverty? A lot of people don't think about this type of stuff. I think us that think about certain stuff like that is not too many of us left. It's not too many of us out here. By him pushing his personal bias aside and giving, if he would have gave that person with a ghetto name a job or opportunity, he could have got them and their family out of poverty. I think if you break certain stuff down to people like that before they make certain decisions, they will look at a lot of this stuff differently. They will. I've known people that were messed up in life, and they got an opportunity. Rest in peace to Miss Debbie. If I used to work for an airline, and if you guys worked there, if you started around the time frame I started there at the end of 2007, October 2007. I was messed up, yo. I was working for a contractor under Delta. And the contract I worked for, I remember I was applying for other jobs, I couldn't get it. If you go in the airport, a lot of people, what they do is they wait for like 6 months, and then they go to like another company, right? So I had applied for this company. I'm waiting. I was really upset one day. So my mom's, she called me, like, hey, you're right. I'm like, yeah. She said, just give him a call. I called Miss Debbie directly, and Miss Debbie picked up the phone, and I said, Miss Debbie, I just want to follow up. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm having a really rough time at the job I'm working at. I said, I just wanted to follow up on my application. Miss Debbie said, oh, I was supposed to call you last week. She said, I'm sorry. I said, don't be. Just, it's all good. She said, hey, come in Monday for the next class. Miss Debbie changed my life. And rest in peace to Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie just passed away. Recently, I think about roughly a few weeks to a month ago. A lot of us loved Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie was an amazing person. Miss Debbie saved many, many, many of us. Many of us. I personally know people that got hired there that was running the street heavy. And Miss Debbie pushed that pen, got them in there. And Miss Debbie got me in there, and it's crazy because that week that lapsed, I would have had crazy seniority if I got in that class before that week. But it's all good though. It's all good though. You know what I'm saying? It would have been but I think I'm a firm believer that things happen how they're supposed to happen. Had I not got into the class I was in, and it would have been the week before, there would have been a shift. Like I'm gonna get into that later on. You know what I'm saying? That's a deep rabbit hole right there, man. That's a deep rabbit hole. The shift in my life would have been different. And I don't think my life was supposed to shift that way. I think my life panned out the way it happened because I got into that class and she did forget. And that's only a few people are gonna know what I'm talking about. Only a few people are gonna know what I'm talking about. One day I'm gonna tell you all about that. But my life would have shifted totally different if I got into that class the week before that. So I'm actually happy I got into the class that I did. Happy and not so happy. There's a little bong, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, a lot of podcasters, they get on here and they just throw their whole life. I'm a very openly closed person. I'm a lit loner. I'm the most openly closed person you'll ever meet. You know what I'm saying? It's where I will tell you things about my life and I'll go around this way. I'll give it to you straight, but there's still things I keep personal myself. It's weird, man. I don't even like going certain places because I see people that follow me on social media. I saw 2 people yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I had to take my pop somewhere. There was this new store that opened, right? It's one of those chef grocery stores where you buy in bulk. It's for chefs at like local restaurants and things like that. You get everything in bulk, right? And my pops complained the whole time, I hate these prices. This ain't that great. Dog, you are not a chef. You don't own a restaurant. It's not for us. It's for them. It's for people that are buying in bulk. I get it. You can buy it in bulk for your house. My pops is funny. You know what I'm saying? But I feel the price was crazy. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? He bought some stuff and I was like, you better than me. I ain't buying nothing. But I saw a few people that follow me on social media And it was weird because like all three of them immediately locked eyes on me, and I was like, "Yo," you know what I'm saying? It was weird. I don't know. Maybe like I said, I'm a little alone. I'm the coolest person in the world. I just kind of don't like being out and about certain places. I don't like always stopping and having to talk to people. Like I really don't know like that. If it's business, that's one thing. But if it's not business and like if you were, have y'all ever ran into a follower in public? It's weird. Like I think the first time I ran into a person that followed me, or just say a social media friend. This was years ago, years and years ago. I was this is the first time I moved down here. I forgot what social platform it was. I was in my first year of college. Me and my brother, we was in Concord Mills. You know what I'm saying? This is back when Concord Mills was lit. Concord Mills is still cool, but it was lit back in the day, right? So we went to Concord Mills, and I was going. I had saw a jacket that I wanted. I was like I had like a big like jacket thing, like back in the day. Jackets and coats was my thing. So I had bought like I remember this too because I dropped like 200 on it, you know, which for a college student that's a lot. That's a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta be fresh. It was one of those leather varsity jackets with like the wall sleeves. It was black, green, white. It was fire, yo. So I'm in there trying it on. So I got it in one hand. There was a girl that was like a social media friend of mine, and she was like short. She was Asian. She had like blonde and black hair. Shorty saw me and then did a double take. She's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yo, it was so cringy. It was because I had never spoke to her online or whatever." And I was like, "Hey, what up? How you doing?" She was like, "Oh," she was like, "I'm good." She was like, "Yo." She's like, "Wow, we're like we friends on such and such." I was like, "Yeah, have a good day." Yeah, I ain't try to bag shorty. I ain't try to do none of that. I just wanted. It was weird for me. Like now, most of y'all probably be like, "Yo, probably you dropped the ball." I didn't drop the ball. Everything panned out in life how it was supposed to pan out. What if I would have did try? What if I did with a back shorty and everything else would have shifted? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I genuinely spoke to her. I would genuinely speak to people when I see them in public, like people that follow me on social media. I'm genuinely nice to people. The scary part about being genuinely nice to people, they confuse it. So like I might be genuinely nice to a person. I'll see like a dude I know, we follow each other on social media, now they think we supposed to be besties. And I'm saying this respectfully, fam. It don't work like that. Like if they think we supposed to like hang out and that's cool, and I appreciate them wanting to do that, but I'm a loner. I got one bestie, and she has braids and loves Starbucks. That's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't wait till she get a job, yo. I'm getting one of them tall, venti, whatever's, one of them pink joints. You know what I'm saying? But then it's crazy when I'll run into like a woman that follows me on social media, and I'll be nice. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you." And then I think they confuse that and think, "Oh, it's late. We about to start talking." No, no, we're not. And I'm not being big headed when I'm talking about that. I'm genuinely saying like sometimes being genuine can confuse people. But all in all, the real flex is being genuine. Be nice to people. Let's elevate each other. G is the boy Product, Life of Product podcast, episode 127. I'm out, baby. G.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.